Hello there, thanks for joining us on TVC Midday News. Let's begin with from Kaduna State, where an unknown number of persons have been killed and others injured after armed terrorists again invaded another community in Chikun local government area. Many residents also vacated their homes in the night following the attack. The terrorists, a large number, allegedly stormed Angwambulu's community in Sabuntasha at about 10 p.m. on Thursday. Although the Kaduna police is yet to confirm the incident, it was gathered that the terrorists opened fire at residents of the community. The latest attack is coming 4 days after armed terrorists bombed a Kaduna-bound train, killing at least 8 people.
I got a call around 11:30 that the bandits are in this community. So I was here yesterday around 12:45 together with the police, and we have not been able to get the actual people that died and the people they picked. It was this morning we were here to get the numbers of people that kidnapped and killed.
Meanwhile, the Kaduna Police Command says it defused an improvised explosive device in Igabi local government area of the Kaduna metropolis. The police spokesperson, Mohammed Jalike, said that the IEDs had been planted in the area by yet to be identified persons. It was cited by residents of the area who promptly reported it to the police. The Command Explosive Ordnances Department, on receiving the report, swung into action and successfully defused the IED without any loss of lives or property. And still in Kaduna, relatives of some of the passengers who were kidnapped from the Kaduna-bound train on Monday say that the terrorists have contacted them to confirm that their relatives are safe with them in the forest. A very disturbed family member whose mother and sister also boarded the train but were kidnapped told TVC News that no demand for ransom has been made by the terrorists. Lupe Asom has the story.
A graduate of the University of Maiduguri, Maimuna Ibrahim, was on the Kaduna-bound train from Abuja, which was attacked by bandits few days ago. She was shot in the thigh and is being treated at the St. Gerard's Hospital.
So we just start hearing gunshots from both sides, from both left and right. Unstoppable shooting. So finally the train had now stopped. When the train stopped, immediately they now off the lights. They entered inside coach 17 and the VIP section. They kidnapped many passengers there, but I don't know how many. So as they were kidnapping them, they were forcing them out of the train, they were flogging them, and they were saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They were chasing them. And they are young guys. They were within around 18, 19, 20, maybe let's say highest 22.
Her father, who is with her, says she went to Abuja in search of a job and was on her way back when the sad incident happened. He wants the government to provide the job for his daughter.
Nothing I can tell is only that whether government will fit to help on what she's pursuing. Now she's a graduate for 2 to 3 years now. She has all work to do. She went to Abuja for looking a job. When she's coming back, is returning back, this is what had happened to her.
10 victims who were also admitted at St. Gerard's Hospital in Kaduna have been discharged. Others with severe injuries were referred to the military reference hospital. Meanwhile, the Kaduna-Abuja highway is now the only option for most travelers intending to get to Abuja from Kaduna. Passengers now troop into motor parks. Most of them refuse to speak on camera. But the drivers who ply the road want the government to deploy more security operatives to guarantee travelers' safety.
To tell you the truth, the road is not secure. That is what is happening now. So they need to put more efforts in order to secure the road.
You'll be traveling, your heart, you'll be blinking, you'll be afraid of the road. You don't know what you will meet or what is on the road.
Some family members of the kidnapped victims are now panicking. They say the bandits have contacted them, but a demand for ransom has not been made. Military operatives are also intensifying efforts to rescue others who are in captivity. And Kaduna State government has promised to take care of the medical bills of all who are injured. Lupe Asom, TVC News.
Me on Zoom from Abuja. Chidi, it's good to have you join me right now. All right, sorry, it's Bala Mohammed, not Chidi. Bala, it's good to have you join me now.
How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry for mixing your name earlier on. Now, it's obvious that we have, all right, it's obvious we have crisis in our hands. And at this point where you get daily reports of attacks, daily reports of sometimes kidnapping, daily report of harassment and all of that, it seems it's leading to information fatigue or overload, where the impact and the effect of hearing that one person was kidnapped and someone would say, okay, it's just one person or something. What do you make of this kind of crisis situation where the normal thing now is for you to wait to hear those kind of news?
Yeah, you see, in other similar fora, we've been talking about the insecurity, the methodology, tactics, and of their attacks. It's still not far-fetched from what we've been saying. You see, it is good for the government and other security stakeholders to understand the intricacies and the implication of this rampant security attacks in almost all the northern states in Nigeria. What we are saying and what we are trying to look into is what you call risk assessment, risk security assessment. Then after which, then you go on with the content analysis. But before you go into, you also need to identify and need to know what exactly is behind this. We have two major categories of groups that are aiding this insecurity. But before this, analyzing the two major categories, it is also important if we can also understand the categorization and classification of these banditry activities. First of all, we have the conflict entrepreneurs. And these conflict entrepreneurs is a composition and conglomeration of people from all walks of life, including the security agencies, including the traditional rulers, including the religious leaders, including the youths and women groups. We also have the interest of the international community, which is the second aspect. And this interest of the international community naturally is what we term as disaster capitalism. There is no way peace will be restored in African countries with abundance of resources like Nigeria. So they give money to instigate crisis. In return, they give out their weaponry for sale to those crisis states. The last category, which is small in nature, is a miscellaneous group. Those who are hijacking the activities of the banditry, but they are not bandits, so to say. But they kidnap, they go into houses, kidnap, kill, and maim, even raping. But they are not terrorists. So let's go back to the issue that I mentioned, the state actors and non-state actors. These state actors also are embedded in the three categories I mentioned: the conflict entrepreneurs, the interests of the international community, and the miscellaneous. The state actors here composed of people holding offices, because this is very lucrative venture. There is no way. Some of them are connected with outside world, and some of them are internally connected. Then we have the non-state actors, those people that if they mention their names as part of those groups that were involved in this menace, you won't believe it, because they are sent in the community. They are not even seen partaking in the political affairs of this country. So what we are saying and what we've been propagating and what we are trying to also portray to the government to understand is for the government now, if you go down to Kaduna, for example, Kaduna area, Binnungwari area, you cannot identify specific area of these bandits. They use what they call, what we call hit and run tactics. You cannot get them in a particular place. So the earlier they now synergize between the state governors affecting states, the security agencies partaking in this fight, the better for them. Because if you go down now, they attack and run to bushes not only within the suzerainty of Kaduna, but they also go on to other states at that particular time. So it is for the government now to do the risk assessment and the content analysis.
Okay.
If they do the risk assessment, they will be able to identify the exact location of these people. And the irony of these attacks and the irony of non-talent attitude from the security agencies is that you don't allow your enemy to strike before you strike.
All right.
You strike first and keep him busy.
Okay.
That will also make him not to be able to have enough time for him to attack.
All right, we have to leave you here now. Bala Mohammed, thank you so much for talking to us, your security analyst, joining us to make sense of some of the challenges we have in here. Bala Mohammed, thank you very much for your time. You're watching TVC News. Now, Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 13 has assured that the focus is making concerned efforts to arrest all form of criminal activities in that zone. Bamidele Ajayi has the story here.
Arriving the Enugu State Police Command on a familiarization and confidence building tour. The new Assistant Inspector General of Police for Zone 13 was ushered into a guard of honor parade. Without wasting time, the new sheriff in Zone 13 that comprises of Enugu and Anambra State delivers his charge to his personnel. The AIG identified challenges officers face in the discharge of their duty, urges them to key themselves to the Inspector General of Police program to reposition the Nigerian police force.
The AIG Zone 30 is here in Enugu State that comprises of Enugu and Anambra State. It's here on a familiarization visit to meet the 5 area council under the command and also to strengthen the confidence of his personnel ahead of the challenges.
I urge you all to remain professional, loyal and dedicated to your duties, even as the IGP and his management team make frantic effort to reposition the Nigerian police force, make it become a force to be reckoned with in the Committee of Security Agency in Nigeria and beyond. Also, on no account should you allow your station to be overrun by criminal elements nor taken out for lack of courage and allow yourself to be killed like a chicken by unscrupulous elements.
The AIG dissociated the zone from the rumored police strike, said it's a fake news spread on the social media.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no failed strike because it's a rumor orchestrated by the social media. As far as I'm concerned, we are on top of the situation. There is no cause for alarm at all.
The host commissioner of police says the state command is on top of criminal activities in the state.
On the whole side, we have remained focused in fulfilling our constitutional mandates, especially as concerns continue the heightening crime trends and ensuring the effective policing of the state.
The AIG urged the personnel to shun unprofessional practices as the IG is trying to improve the welfare of the personnel. He urged them to be courageous enough to resist incessant attacks on facilities and police personnel by criminals. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.
The Lekki Concession Company has announced the return of tolling operations at the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge toll gate or toll plaza in Lagos on April the 1st, 2022. The company, in a statement signed by its managing director, Yomi Omomoaso, said that toll payments will not commence until April 16. The managing director said that the LCC made the decision to resume operations after months of engagement with key stakeholders within Etiosa Lekki area. He also said that LCC has deployed new and more efficient technology at the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge toll plaza. Now, according to him, the first 2 weeks will be completely toll-free in order to test run the new system and ensure a seamless interface with road users. The toll plaza was shut down after hoodlums hijacked the NSAS protests in October 2020. Some facilities at the toll plaza were also destroyed during the protests. Our correspondent Theophilos Elama is standing by at the Lekki toll plaza to bring us up to speed with what's going on there. Theophilos, it's good to have you join us now. Now, this move, we've been hearing feelers from residents in Lekki, and even some celebrities and stakeholders have said they don't want the Lekki toll to start work or to start tolling. What are you seeing and what are you hearing?
Well, Michael Kwacha, despite the fact that Lekki residents are saying they do not want the tolling to start, the LCCI says it will start, just like what you have read, your script you read earlier. Now, we didn't just come here, we also went to the Lekki-Ikoyi toll bridge as well, and we realized that they've given a 2 weeks window for just to sensitize people to understand that the tolling is back, and so after 2 weeks the tolling will commence fully. And so what we hear is that once that is successful, they will come here to implement. So it means that that will just be a test run, and so once it is very successful, they will come here to ensure that tolling continues here. But from what we have seen here, we see that security men are here, but tolling isn't happening here, though there are some changes here and there as regards infrastructure and the likes, but we still see that tolling hasn't started here. Security operatives are here to forestall any issue, because we were hearing of a protest that was supposed to happen earlier on, but we see that what is happening is that there is a trending hashtag on social media, no justice, no toll, to ensure that the government hears the voice of those against the tolling. But from what we have seen here on the ground, the protest is not here. Security men are here trying to ensure that they keep the peace. But as it is right now, motorists are moving well. Vehicular movement is going unhindered in this particular toll plaza and the other one as well. And of course, residents are not happy with the situation, saying that they do not want toll. But the government has consistently said the toll will come back, and this is part of plans for it to come back.
All right. They talked about, from the report, they talked about the issue of installing better technology and more efficient technology at the toll gate. What are the new features that you are seeing from your observation? Well,
from our observation, we see that the lights actually came on earlier because before now there were not enough lights here, but when we got here there were a lot of lights that came on. And we hear of some security features that have been put in place both at this and at the Lekki-Ikoyi toll plaza. But from the visuals we sent earlier, the Lekki-Ikoyi toll plaza is moving. We see that the barricades that go up and down are working at the Lekki-Ikoyi toll plaza, and the road motorists are moving unhindered there. So that is just for a test run to see how efficient it will be when they fully start. So once it starts fully, everyone comes in here to implement this particular toll plaza for it to commence as well.
Us up to speed there. Moving ahead now, the Katsina State Command of the Nigerian Customs has made another seizure worth 42 million naira during its recent border patrol operations. The command also apprehended a fake police officer along Kano-Katsina Road in possession of multiple identity cards and contraband items in his car. Correspondent Abdulatif Yusuf has the story.
These items on display were intercepted between February and March this year. The items comprises hundreds of bags of parboiled rice, cartons of spaghetti, and bales of new and used clothes.
For the rice, 50 kg each, 432 bags with a duty paid value of 10,454,000 naira, 400. Cartons of foreign spaghetti, 309 cartons, with a DPB of 1,688,000 naira. Cartons of foreign couscous, 20 cartons, with a DPB of 108,000 naira. We have cartons of foreign macaroni, 55 cartons, with a duty paid value of 297,000 naira, as well as vegetable oil of 25 liters each.
Other items seized encompasses several used cars and jerrycans of vegetable oils, among others.
One used dump truck with a duty paid value of 6,750,000. A Toyota Sienna Space Wagon with a duty paid value of 2,025,000 naira. One used Ford Transit bus with a duty paid value of 1,485,000 naira, as well as a Volkswagen Wagon Golf 3 with a duty paid value of 6, as well as Tiger notes, 400 bags, duty paid value of 10,560,000 naira, as well as cartons of medicaments, 6 cartons, was duty paid value of 794,000 naira 400. A total, grand total here we have 42,728,850 naira for the period under review.
The command has also embarked on a border sensitization campaign to enlighten the people on the need to preserve locally produced food to assist in the reduction in price hike and scarcity of such items. The controller used the opportunity to call on the people to continue to assist the customs in discharge of its statutory responsibility. Abdul Latif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.